Hello everyone, welcome to Unit Pals. I am Ashok Raja. Today's session on Elasticsearch should be taken by Thangaraja, who is an application architect in one of the Fortune 500 companies. He is proficient in Docker, Kubernetes, Angular, Node, and some of the popular JavaScript frameworks. In this session, Thangaraja would be covering the basics of Elasticsearch, right from the installation to creating index and performing different queries on top of those indices with Kibana. In the next meetup session, he would be taking a deep dive session on Elasticsearch. Thank you for this session, Thangaraja. Over to you now.
Yeah, my name is Tangaraja. So I'll be talking about Elasticsearch. So I will provide high-level introduction about Elasticsearch, and then what is the purpose of using it, and also I will be explaining how we can set up in our local environment so that we can try few examples. I will also explain the Elasticsearch ecosystem, which is Elasticsearch, Kibana, and then Beats. So if we have time, then probably we can look into the we can also explore how things can be done using Kibana, and then I will also demonstrate a couple of example. So this is going to be our session today. Yeah, let's I think let's jump into it. Okay, I believe if you are in if you are in IT, then you must have heard about Elasticsearch, or wherever you need to implement search functionality in our application. Probably the expectation it's like let's build something similar to Google, so it should work similar to Google. So that is what the expectation right now. So if you are seeing um, so and then when we talk about the search engine for application, so the immediately Elasticsearch will come into picture. So I believe like maybe some of you might have already have experience in Elasticsearch. So this this session is going to be a refresher for you. So okay, so let me start with the Elasticsearch first. So first one, what is Elasticsearch? So it is a it is a fully distributed full text search engine. By using HTTP web interface, we can it will help us search through the JSON documents. So basically, it is a distributed document store. So we can call it as distributed document store. So whatever the data we store, the data is serialized as a JSON, and then it can be stored. So so the other important part is right now it is free, and it is a open source. So it can handle any type of any type of data. It doesn't matter whether it's a text, or it is a numerical data, or if it is geospatial data, or structured, unstructured, it doesn't matter. So it can index any kind of data, so it doesn't matter. So and then it is written in Java. I think it was developed in early 2010 or 2011 at that time. So it is written based on the Lucene library, so which is again another Apache library. So okay, so this is I think probably this will help. So and then again, the one more important point is it's it is highly scalability actually. So because as I mentioned earlier, it is a distributed. By default, it enables a distributed architecture. So it means it doesn't matter whether we deploy whether we host it in a single server, or even thousands of 10,000s of server. It doesn't matter. It can scale automatically. It doesn't matter. So it can also handle huge data. Huge data. When I say huge data, it can be gigabytes or terabyte, petabyte. It doesn't matter. It can scale very well. So also it can scale very automatically. All we have to know, all we have to define is we need to define like what kind of master node cluster. We need to define some things, and then it can scale automatically. So as a developer, or as a DevOps manager, we don't need to worry about complexity behind it. So it all uh, taken care by Elasticsearch itself. Okay. So let's try with now before jumping into some more explanation, let's try installing and then running it in the local itself. So in order to run Elasticsearch, we need two things. First one is Elasticsearch engine itself. Second one is Kibana. So Kibana is the one where Kibana is the one which helps manage our data. So by using Kibana we can make use of REST API, which is built in along with Elasticsearch. So I have already downloaded it. So we have to download since I'm using Windows, we need to download the Windows version. So I have downloaded it already. So let me go here. So I have downloaded here. So first one, I have downloaded Elasticsearch. I need to go to bin folder. So let me open the command prompt and then run Elasticsearch. So uh, it has a default Elasticsearch thing, and then I need to go to Kibana. Let me open the Kibana. Okay. So let's verify if okay. So if you can see, Elasticsearch is running in the port 9200. So 9200 is a port where Elasticsearch run. So if I open the if I directly open it, then you can see some predefined information, some basic information about Elasticsearch. So it will provide some information about the cluster name, version, and then some tagline. So if you are able to access, then it means the Elasticsearch is up and running in the machine. So we got Elasticsearch up and running. So let's go and see the Kibana. Kibana runs in port 5681. Let me verify. 5601. Sorry. Okay. So Kibana is also running. So okay. So now we have ordered the Elasticsearch part. Now we have configured the Elasticsearch. We have set up installed the Elasticsearch part, but we didn't yet add the data. So for the demonstration purpose, I'm going to use the the demo data. So I'm going to click on add data. So let me go here. I can go sample data. Then I will add some sample e-commerce data. So right now it is adding. So let's wait. It will take some couple of seconds probably. So we can also verify that whether its data is added or not. So let me go here. So here you can see. So this is the dashboard. So right now we have added the data. So it means I can see the data which is available in Elasticsearch by using Kibana. So right now I am viewing the data which is available in the Kibana, Elasticsearch via Kibana. So these are the data which is already added in the Elasticsearch. So let's keep this for now. Let me go to the Kibana. So here, before moving to DevTools part, let's see what are the things are available in Kibana. So this is the place where we can view. So when we install Kibana, so we can see like lot of things actually. So there are like many way we can explore the data by using Kibana. So for example, in this way, so I have ordered several chat. I have also view data here. So this is the basic table, and then we can also view the data via chart. So let's go and see dev tool. So there is a tool. This is the dev tool actually. So this is the so right now the Kibana is running in 5601, and then Elasticsearch is running in 9200. So from Kibana we need to provide a commands to Elasticsearch. So all the command can be given via REST API. So REST API in the sense we have set up we have Elasticsearch. So in order to get the data or push the data from or to Elasticsearch, we need some kind of mechanism, right? So that mechanism is REST API. So all the data is exposed, or all the data can be managed via REST API. So for example, let me go and see what are the data available here. Let me go and quickly try some of the things. Let's say maybe like this may a little bit confused, but that's fine. We will continue. Indices. So here you can see that there are several indices, index actually. So these are the index. So index is the way of storing data. So when we push the data to Elasticsearch, we need to have an index. So index is the place where Elasticsearch push the data. So if we see here, so this is the Kibana sample data e-commerce. So this data has been pushed from Kibana to Elasticsearch. So this is the command. So if we need to see list of available indices, then this is the command we need to provide. So okay, now we got to know what are the index are available. Now let's explore some of the data which is available in the Kibana. Sorry, the indices, the default index. Okay, so we have several indices, and then Kibana, this is the index which is added from the Kibana. Now I am running some basic query. So this is the Elasticsearch query. So for example, if I need to get some data, or if I need to interact the Elasticsearch, I can use this. So right now I am passing some command here. So this is the the index name, and then this is the command search. So I need to search it, and then this is the query. So query is match all. So this is like, this will fetch all the record available in the data. So right now if you see, so it is returning multiple, you can see multiple data. So almost all the data is returned here. So products. So okay, so here if you see here, so you can see several things here. So it shots, how many shots are available, and then hits, and then max score, index, source. So this is the data. So this is the data. This is the information related to Elasticsearch actually. So Elasticsearch use this data for managing its data. Okay, I think this is the I can say this is the basic actually. So you can add the data. So by using that, here also I can add the data. For example, let's try probably like I can also go and add some data, but let's go to the let's cover some basic concept, and then we will continue with the sample data. Okay. So if you have any question, then feel free to ask in the chat. So we will try to provide it, or we can have it in the end of the session. Okay. Okay. So features of Elasticsearch. So first one is by using Elasticsearch, what are the things can be done, or what are the features are provided by Elasticsearch. So first one is the full text search. Full text search in the sense, I believe like everyone must have used the website like Amazon. So we have the a text box. So if I enter something, I can enter anything. So I can enter book name, or if I want to purchase any mobile or anything, any electronic stuff, I can simply type. It will look into all the several data. So it will go and check it inside the books, inside the electronic stuff, or inside the any product type. So that can be achievable by using Elasticsearch easily. And then as I mentioned earlier, it can index any kind of data. So other than the main important point is it uses the standard RESTful API. So it means Elasticsearch can be accessed from any application. So it doesn't matter whether we are using Java or .NET or Node.js. It doesn't matter, as long as the program supports or the technology supports RESTful API, then you should be able to manage Elasticsearch. It's simple as that. And then by using Elasticsearch, we can store search analysis. As I mentioned, it can store huge volume of data, and then whatever the data is stored, it will quickly add it. It will the data will be available in near real time. So if I add some data, it will be available within a minute, within a second. So that is another other feature. So we don't need to wait. So it doesn't perform any background task to pull the data. So the other important point is schema free. When I say schema free, for example, assume that we have a database. So if I need to create a table, then I need to define what kind of data I'm going to store. For example, I need to define the column name and then data type, right? So here I don't need to do it, but I can do it, but it's kind of optional. So it means I can simply pass the data, and then the Elasticsearch itself identify what kind of data I'm trying to add. So based on that, it will create the mapping actually. So it means it's a schemaless. So I don't need to specify any data type for field, but I can also specify schema by defining own mapping or own schema. Means it helps the developer to identify optimize a field. For example, if I want to optimize a field for any kind of search, then it is easy. So if I provide assume that I'm providing a date type, then I can specify the type date. So it means Elasticsearch can, by default, it can identify, but still it is better actually. So in that case, for example, if I want to use any custom date format, then it will be easy. Rather than letting Elasticsearch to figure out, we can also explicitly say that this is the data type. So other point is Elasticsearch is scalability. It's distributed by default. So it means, so it doesn't matter whether it's running in a single node or multi-node cluster. It doesn't matter. There is no performance impact. So I can keep on adding it by scale. It is there is no downgrade in the performance. So there are the last one is there are so many client libraries are available. So .NET, Node, Java, Python. There are like plenty of libraries available. We can interact with Elasticsearch is very simple. Okay, so use case. So the other important point is like we may think that it is used only for application search. For example, if I want to build any Amazon kind of search, I can use it. Otherwise, there is no use of Elasticsearch. It is not like that. The other than application search, there are several use cases. So logging and log analytics. So assume that you are building some kind of logging. So in that case, assume you have multiple application, and then multiple applications are pushing logs. So it can be the application log, or it can be error log. So you can push all the data to Elasticsearch, and then you can perform some kind of analytics. For example, per day how many errors we got, per month how many error we got, or those kind of things can be done in Elasticsearch easily. And then a geospatial analysis also easy. For example, if anything related to location specific, that is also easy. And then infrastructure metrics, and then container monitoring. So assume that your application is running in the container, maybe it's Kubernetes or in a Docker. Then we can also pull the log from the it can be logs or metrics. So how the system is performing, we can also pull the metrics and then push it to the Elasticsearch, and then we can do some kind of analysis. That is also possible. The other one is a business analytics. So assume that you have a huge number of huge data in your database. So assume you have a data. Let's say you have GB, 20 GB or 50 GB, 100 GB of data in RDBMS or any database. So what you can do is you can, instead of adding so many queries and then analyzing in the database itself, what you can do is you can push all the data to Elasticsearch, and then by using Kibana you can create you can create a lot of chart. This is one of the example, right? So here you can see, right? So this will be used for a business. For example, in this sample, if I want to know like sales by gender, or average sales price or average sold quantity, so these kind of things can be easily achievable by using Elasticsearch. So these are the pretty common use cases. Other than that, there are plenty of use cases are also available, also possible by using Elasticsearch. Why Elasticsearch is so great? These are the main important point actually. So first one, as I mentioned, it is very fast. So whatever that, it doesn't matter whether you are trying to get the get something from the 1 MB of data or 1 GB of data or 1 TB 1 PB. It doesn't matter. It will quickly, within within a second or less than a second, you should be able to get the data. You should be able to search within the data. So it's so fast. Another one is distributed. So I think like we have covered it, the scalability part. And then as I mentioned again, it can analyze huge volume of data in near real time, so which is like less than 1 second. So again, as I mentioned, as I showed in the Kibana dashboard, data ingest or visualization or reporting, it's extremely simple. So there are like there are several use cases, but these are the things which made Elasticsearch is so great. So one more thing is like Elasticsearch has a in addition to Elasticsearch, there is a Kibana and then Beats and then Logstash. So earlier there were three things. One is Elasticsearch and then Logstash and then Kibana, which were called as a Elk stack. And then later they have the company Elasticsearch. They have added the Beats. So right now it is called as a Elastic Stack. So who is using Elasticsearch? So these are the companies. These are some of the companies that uses Elasticsearch for they have their own use cases. But if you can in their official their official website itself, like they have covered plenty of use cases also, use cases and then white papers available. You can if you want to know more about those use cases, then you can obviously go and explore those things. Okay. Yeah. So there is always a confusion, or there is always a question about why can't we have a database and then we have Elasticsearch. So do we need to have both in our application? There is always a question actually. So if I want to compare Elasticsearch with database, actually this is not a one-to-one mapping. So this is like kind of, we can consider, for example, in Elasticsearch we may consider type. In RDBMS we can call it as a table. But this is not a kind of exact map, but this is like for understanding purpose I have provided it actually. But so don't think like it is a one-to-one relationship. It's not. Clearly the purpose of a database and then Elasticsearch is completely different. For example, so if I take an example, let's take an example for a database. So database in the sense we have RDBMS, right? MySQL, SQL Server, Postgres. But they have to they should aim for a ACID compliance. So for example, if we want to call a system as a database, then it should aim for ACID compliance. ACID compliance is atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. So it means the database system, it has to guarantees for the data validity as well as any service interruption. Then it should be available. It should there should not be any data loss. But Elasticsearch, it's not ACID compliance. So the data, the node, it can crash anytime. There is a possibility. It's not like it always crash, but there is a possibility. So whatever the data you put, it is not 100% 100% safe, we can say. It is secured, but it's anytime the data loss can happen. So due to that, like the data should be maintained in the database, and then from the database we should pull the data from database and then push it to Elasticsearch. So if something goes wrong, we should be able to rebuild the index. So that like the data will be always available and searchable. So in simple word, RDBMS can store data. Additionally, it can index data. But in Elasticsearch, it is a search engine, so it can index data. Additionally, it can store. So storing data, it's not its main task. The main task is index data. Both are both are different meaning. Okay, so one more thing, like we have I wanted to inform, like Elasticsearch, how Elasticsearch is so fast actually. So like in the slide we mentioned that it is fast, but how it is fast, or how it is able to identify the data and then retrieve data quickly. I will also explain, like what is going behind the behind the logic, what how they are doing it. I will also explain that in a demo. Okay, Elastic Stack. So I mentioned about Elk first. So Elk is Elasticsearch, Lagstash, and then Kibana. So and then later they have added a Beats. So it right now this is Elastic Stack. So by default, when we say Elastic Stack, these are the four important things. First one, Elasticsearch, where we index data. Lagstash is like it is a pipeline. It is, we can consider as a data collection pipeline. Data collection pipeline in the sense, assume that you have a database where you maintain the main data. So now you need to get the data and then push it to Elasticsearch. So the Lagstash act as a intermediator. So it has the ability to pull the data from database and then push it to Elasticsearch. But it doesn't mean that it has the directly it can connect. It doesn't mean that it can directly connect, but it has the by we there are like several drivers. For example, there are JDBC drivers available, so you can incorporate those drivers to Lagstash, and then by using those drivers you can pull the data from database and then push it to Elasticsearch. That part. And then Kibana is the one, you have the data in Elasticsearch. Kibana will get the data, and then it can prepare a dashboard, which I have showed. So it helps you visualize the data. So we can consider Elasticsearch is heart of the stack, where indexing, search, analyzing, those kind of thing happen. Lagstash and Beats. So as I mentioned, Lagstash is helps to pull the data from database, and then Beats. So Beats is the one, it acts as a agent actually. For example, there are several Beats available: file Beats, metric Beats, and so on. So for example, file Beats, assume that you have application running in EC2. So now you need to you are adding the lags in the file. So every time if there is a error, then the file will get updated. So at the time, what you can do is you can install file Beats in that EC2 machine, so that like the file bit can it monitors the EC2, and then the file located in the EC2. So whenever for I think like every 15 seconds or 30 seconds, I think it can be configured. So every 15 seconds or 30 seconds, it get the data from the file and then push it to Elasticsearch. So likewise, we have metric Beats. Yeah. So what it does is for example, if you want to identify, or if you want to know the performance of machine, then you can install metric bit. So it collects the data such as memory, and then CPU utilization, memory utilization, space, so those kind of things. So it can collect and then push it to Elasticsearch. So by using this, you should be able to do any kind of analytical work easily. Okay, so we got Elasticsearch up and running. We got Kibana up and running. So let's try few samples here. So I have mentioned that there are several ways you can add the data. First one, you can pull the data from database and then push it to Elasticsearch using Lagstash. The other ways, you can also provide the data in JSON file. There are several JSON file, so it can read the Lagstash also read the JSON file and then push it to Elasticsearch. So that is another way. So from here, the dev tools. So from Kibana also I can push the data. So right now I will be for the demonstration I will be using Kibana. So let me provide you some sample. Let's try few samples using Kibana. Okay, let me go ahead and create a index. So to create an index, so this is the command movies. So this is a straightforward command. put is the the HTTP method, and then movies is the index name. So and then if I click so the index is ready. So the index is created. I got the acknowledge is true. So if I run the indices here, I can see movies here. So okay, now I created a index. Let me now I need to add the data here, right? So in order to add the data, so before adding the data, let's see the mapping. Okay, so the other point is I can delete the data using, sorry, I can delete the index using delete. So I have deleted it. So the index is gone. So if you see here, there are several ways, right? So here, if you see here green, you can see that now. So this is the status. In other way, this is how healthy the cluster or the shard is. So that is the way it should be. So green is green is healthy. I think yellow is one or I think one node is down or something. So probably like I will explain in the upcoming slide. Okay. Okay. So now I have created a, let me create a Kibana, sorry, let me create a movies. So I have created a movies. So let's try one more thing. So if I try to create one more time, I got an error saying that, resource already added. So let's add, I need to add some data here. So before adding the data, I need to specify the schemas. So I need to specify the index name, and then I need to specify the mapping. So this is the keyword that I need to use for specifying the schema. For example, let's say I'm adding 4 columns to the movies. So I need to specify like properties. And then okay, so I got the properties, and then I need to specify the property name, and then I need to specify its type. Let's say the type is integer. So I can also format, auto format. So let me copy paste. Okay, I want to add 4 columns: ID, name, and then let's say year, and then director. Okay, so ID should be integer, year should be integer, and then director should be text. So the database is, sorry, the data type for a string, there is no string. So instead of string, we should be using the type called a text. Okay, now we got the mapping. So let me go and add it. So I got the mapping. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and create some data. So what I can do is I can add some data. So there are 2 ways I can add the data. One is directly I can add the data to the post movies. Okay, so what I will do is I will add multiple data. So to add multiple data, I can use bulk. So bulk is the query, sorry, bulk is the way of adding multiple data, multiple row. So I wanted to add 4 or 5 movies to the the index. So let me add some data here. Okay, I hope I remember the. So I need to specify the index name here. So index should be movies and then ID column. ID column, let's say 1. And then the respective value. So this is the syntax. So this is not, this may not be the proper JSON, but this is the syntax. ID is 1, comma, name, let's say fellowship of the ring, two 2001, and then year, director is Peter Jackson. Okay, so now what I will do is I will try to add this bulk. I think this is incorrect. Index, okay, okay, stone. Okay, so we got the data added. Okay, let me add some more data quickly. I think everyone can see the data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. I doubt we don't have any. I don't think we have. There is a auto increment, so we have to use it directly. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two towers, keeping the same. Here it's Return of the King, and then 7. Pincher, and then the other name is movie name itself. No David. B. Okay, so we have added the data. Now let's see what we have the data. So we added the data. I'm going to see what are the how many data or what kind of data we have. So, okay, so you can see that we have added some data. So we have got, so you can notice one thing here. I didn't specify anything for a type here. I added a, I added index. I directly, I added index. I provided a mapping, and then I added data, but I didn't specify the type. So type can be specified. So if we don't specify, then it will take by default, underscore doc as a type. So type we can consider it's like, for example, um, really like, type doesn't, I think type is deprecated, I think, but it really doesn't, provide any much value for now. So, okay, so I have added some data. So let's try and let's go and try some, default, some search. Okay. So what I will do is I will add some uh, basic search. I will try some search. So let me copy paste it. So what I will do is I'm not going to use match all. I'm using match, and then here I need to specify the okay. So if I press double quotes, I can see like I can say where I need to search. So let me go and say name, and then query. So if I type, you can see like what are the possible ways we can see. I can search the data. So there are several ways I can search, but let's start with query. So this is the straightforward search. So let's say, so here you can see that because I have the data towers, I'm getting the data towers. So there are there are five movies, and then out of five, only one movie has the value towers, so it is returning towers. Let's try something else here. I'm trying the. So here you can see we have the in multiple movies, Fellowship of the Ring, and then Return of the King, Two Towers. All these columns have movies. So this is we can consider select star from field name. This is similar to like operator, but there is a different. Let's see. Let's try towers. The You can see the two towers, the Fellowship of the Ring, the Return of the King. So it doesn't search for a entire text, rather, but it search each and every word. So it takes towers and then look and then return the document wherever we have the wherever we have the text towers, and then likewise it is taking the. So this is not a this is not a exact search. This is like a, we can this is kind of matching search. So this is one way of searching data. So I think like I mentioned something like a inverted index. So how Elasticsearch is identify, and then how the Elasticsearch is pulling the data. For example, I used towers here, and then I'm used the, but it is fetching those data, right? So how this is possible? So this is possible because Elasticsearch indexes the data by using the concept inverted index. So it actually it uses multiple thing here, but Elasticsearch is inverted index is one of the things. So there are several ways like I think stemming, ngram, there are several ways it index, but inverted index is one way. So inverted index is very simple. So what it does is, first one, when we index the data, it broke it it break the text based on space or some kind of stop word, it simply break and then it create a list. For example, let's take, so the two towers, and then so it also identify how many times, sorry, which document has this record, sorry, this the word. So in this example, document 2 has document 1, document 2, document 3. For 2, document 2, towers, document 2, king, document 3. So likewise it identifies. So for example, when I push, sorry, when I search for the, it doesn't search all the data, it search rather, but it search in the index, it search in the inverted index. So it goes to the, for example, assume that we have let's say we have 10,000 records. So it won't search within the 10,000 record, but after invert index it may have, let's say it may break down into 100. So it will search only in the 100 index, sorry, 100 inverted index, in the inverted list. So it can directly go here and then return this. If I search for the, it directly return 1 2 3 document. If I search for 2, it directly return 2. So it doesn't matter how many. So this is why it is fast. So it doesn't directly get the data from the data in the actual data, but it pull the data from the list which is maintaining by the Elasticsearch. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so okay, what's the best practice? So Kibana can be protected actually. So there are like, in Kibana security. So I think like in version 6 or 7 they have introduced it actually. So by default it can, I think like if I go here, I will get an alert saying that somewhere I should get the notification saying that your Elasticsearch, sorry, your Kibana, it's unsecure. I think this is the one. So they have added a way to protect the Kibana. So usually what happens is, the application, sorry, we don't expose this port outside the application. So we can configure in such a way that only Kibana can access the application, not other application. So that like, we should be able to protect this. Also, this one cannot be directly exposed to here. So usually again, so we should not directly access the Elasticsearch. So this one will be protected. So if I use Lagstash, so only Lagstash can access this port number. So if it is a AWS, so we can, we can block this IP, and then this localhost colon 920 itself not accessible other than the EC2. And if we let's say we are using Lagstash, and then Lagstash also configured in AWS, then we can allow only Lagstash to access the Elasticsearch. So that way we can protect it. Also, they also have the default credential way of protecting things, and then encryption. I think this one has they have added is maybe 6 or 7. Earlier it wasn't here. I think this was recently added. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so let's go and try. So now let's say I wanted to do the exact search. So what I can do is I can simply specify the operator. Operator is and. So if I put, I will get only the 2 towers. So this is the exact match. But again, this is not this, it's not like I need to provide in the complete data. It doesn't, it's not like that. I can specify only the limited data, but still it will get it. So this is kind of relevancy search actually. So it's not an exact search. So there are different kind of searches possible, but this is one of them. Let's try some more thing. Okay, so I'm going to try the operator part. Let's say okay, I need to specify the let's say I want to search multiple field. So I can specify multi-match, and then this will be a little bit different. Query and then multi-match, and then I need to pass the query again. Query, and then I need to specify where I'm going to search. Fields. So I need to search name, director. Let me format it. So it is returning all the wherever I have the it is returning. So let's try David. So it returns 2 records because I have the word David in both name as well as the director. So it is searching in the name field as well as director field. So here both director and name has the word David, so it's returning. Okay, let's try a couple of more. What else? Query. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have terms, name, the. Okay, let's try some more thing. Okay, so what we can do is, so other than that, we can also see, for example, let's say I want to see if a field, if a record or if a document has a particular field. So I don't want to look into the value, but I want to see the field, whether I have the data, I have the field available or not. So I can use exist. So here field and then name. So all the records has the name, so it's returning. Let's try company. It won't return because no document has the field company. So let's try one more thing. Instead of trying, let's try open search. So what we can do is we will try getting some data from other index. So we have currency field here. So let's try currency. So I can see that. So I am getting the data because I have the currency field. So this is the different actually. So if I don't provide the index, it will search in all the index. If I provide index, then it will look the data only within the index. So if I pass movies, then I won't get the data because movie index doesn't have a field currency. So if I pass name, then I will get the data. So this is one more use case that we can try. Okay, what else? Okay, so let's try for a sorting. Okay, so basically what we can do is, what we will do is actually Elasticsearch. So we have a client actually. So Elasticsearch has multiple clients. So we don't directly because I used Kibana only for a demonstration purpose. In real time, we won't be using dev tool. So dev tool is only for a developer. For example, if I want to explore using this tool, or if I want to run few query against the data, or if I want to try something sample data, then I can use Kibana. But in real time, we won't be using it. So assume that you have in real time, assume that you have a application, you have a .NET application, or I think someone asked about Java, or assume that we have a Java application. So we have a Java application, so and then it has a client. So what we need to do is, if it is a web application, then we can use web application or any application. So we can use this REST client. So this REST client will talk with Elasticsearch and then get the data and then feed it to the Java application. So the same thing applicable for any other technology also. If it is a .NET, sorry, we have a .NET client. If it is a JavaScript or Node.js, we have a Node.js client. So that's it. So basically, Lagstash helps pushing the data to Elasticsearch, but it doesn't pull the data. So again, one more important point is we cannot compare Elasticsearch with we cannot. This is not a one-to-one relationship, as I mentioned. So, for example, in Elasticsearch, we have. So let's go and take a look into the again the sample data. Yeah, here. So here, if you see, we have currency information, we have product information, we have order information, we have manufacturer information. So all the data is available within the document itself. So it doesn't store the relationship. Actually, in database, we may have a relationship. For example, in this example, we have a customer in one table, and then product is another table, and then manufacturer is in another table, and then we will usually we will use ID column, and then only we will be having the ID column, or we will, if it is a one-to-many relationship, then we will be having probably the other columns, other table. But in Elasticsearch, it is not the case. So Elasticsearch is not for the purpose of Elasticsearch is not to maintain the data, but search the data. So we need to ensure that we are feeding the data in such a way that Elasticsearch can quickly index, quickly search. So the data has to be there in a single data itself. Sorry, I mean single document itself. So this is how it should be. In database, we may have it in multiple, but here we should combine everything and then we should push it in a single document itself. So for example, this is the ID. So if I in database, this is one table, this is one table, this is another table. I think this is also another table, but this is not the case here. Okay, I think like I'm almost done, Ashok.
If you find the content on this channel helpful, consider subscribing and leave a like for this video. Thank you.